What's up guys, Leaf right here, welcome to the channel, and today what we're going to be discussing is 3 budget lens options, and more specifically 3 budget vintage lens options. So make sure you guys stay tuned, don't go nowhere. Alright guys, welcome back. So if you guys are new to my channel, the kind of things you guys will see here is tips, tricks, reviews, and tutorials for the budget filmmaker / content creator. So if that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing right now. Alright guys, so like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We're gonna be discussing 3 budget vintage lens options that you can set up for your mirrorless or even DSLR camera. And they're Canon FD mount lenses, and you can buy an adapter for basically any body out there. I've had 3 different bodies with the same and different adapter. I've had Canon, Sony, and now Panasonic with the same different adapter. So there's a lot of options out there where you can adapt these cheap vintage lenses. All right, so why am I recommending talking about these cheap, budget-friendly vintage lenses? Is because we all don't have the money to spend on, thousands upon thousands of dollars on the nicest, newest glass. And some of us are on a very tight budget, and these might be our only options. So, and they're great lenses as long as they've been taken care of over the years. They produce great image quality, whether it's photo or video. And honestly, video, I kind of like using these lenses because it just adds a little personality to the video versus the more digitally sharp, newer lenses. They still have their place and I love them, but the vintage ones still do provide just a teeny bit better, a little bit better look. So anyways guys, we're gonna get talking about the 3 different lens options that I'm gonna be talking about today. So let's go and get ahead and get started with lens number 1, which is the Canon FD 50mm f1.8. So you get the 50mm look that a lot of people love. It's not that wide, and it's tight enough where you can use it as a portrait style or tight style lens. So it's a very versatile lens that a lot of people love, and this lens is no different. It produces that same field of view, got the f1.8 aperture. You're just sacrificing autofocus. So, but again, that's not a huge thing in my opinion. I think manual focus is something that we all should learn how to do, especially us if you're a new aspiring photographer or videographer. Manual focus is an art form that you just need to learn and understand how to use, and these type of lenses definitely help with that. So let's go over some of the strengths. Has the f1.8 aperture, so it's a fast lens. You're letting a lot of light. It's small. Like look at how small that thing is. It's super small, very small footprint it's gonna leave on your camera. The build quality, all 3 of these lenses I'm going to show you guys have very good build quality. These older lenses, for some reason, I don't know, in my opinion, they are just built better than most of today's cheaper lenses are. All metal body, nice smooth focus ring. I mean, it's hard to beat in my opinion. The only weakness I would give this thing is the focus throw is a little short. Obviously, again, it's manual focus. You sacrifice the autofocus, but otherwise, you're gonna get the same quality of images you get with your cheap nifty 50 lens. Maybe not quite as digitally sharp, but you're still gonna get an amazing looking image. And I've been throwing up images and videos that I got with this lens so you guys can see the quality that you would get with this 50mm f1.8. Okay, so lens number 2 that I'm going to be discussing is the Sigma FD mount 28mm f2.8, and is also a macro lens. So this has probably been my favorite one out of the 3 I'm going to be talking to you guys about, because the strengths, again, the build quality is great. Has a pretty fast aperture with the f2.8. You got the 28mm, which is a decently wide field of view, and you get the macro capabilities of this lens. Again, I'm putting the images and videos throughout while I'm talking about this so you guys can see the quality of image you get from this guy. This has definitely been my favorite. Weaknesses, it's a little bit bigger than the 50mm, a little bit more hefty, so it's going to add a little more weight to your camera, but in the grander scheme of things, it's not a huge deal. I can't really see a lot of negatives. The only thing a little bit different, I don't like the aperture ring on this one as much as I do the 50mm, so that's one of the issues that I had. That I don't know, it just didn't feel as good when I was moving around compared to the 50mm f1.8, but that's just a personal preference. But otherwise, not a lot of, again, other just not having the autofocus. But again, I already discussed that earlier. There's not a lot of weaknesses to this lens that I can really think of. Alright, and lens number 3 that I'm going to be discussing is the Canon FD 75-200 f4.5 zoom telephoto lens. Now, this is a common focal length, well, 70-200 a lot of people get, so 75-200. So it's basically the same thing as far as focal length compared to what a lot of people like, you know, especially photographers, with the 70-200. And again, you're getting that same reach, you know, 75-200, basically the same reach. So you'd be able to get close to whatever shot that you are trying to get with this lens. Now, one of the things I noticed with this lens, and it's kind of an issue with a lot of the telephoto lenses, when you kind of get in on the 200mm, if you're hand holding, it's not quite the best, because you get a lot of that shake in there, and there is no IS in these lenses, so that is probably a negative in all three. But again, these are old lenses, you know, came out in the 70s, 80s, so IS really wasn't even a thing back then. So if you're going to be using this, I would recommend, if you're getting those long telephoto shots, probably putting on a tripod would be best, unless you have a super steady hand. I don't, so that was kind of a weakness that I noticed. But otherwise, you get all, you know, the same benefits that the nowadays 70-200s have, minus the autofocus, and some of those have IS versus this does not. The only other weakness is it's not as fast as the other two. It has the f4.5. So this is probably my third favorite out of the three, just because it has more weaknesses than the others. It has the same positives, as it's built very well, very solid, smooth focus ring. I mean, nothing really to complain about other than, you know, just the shakiness. Oh, it is also a macro capable lens as well. So, and you guys seen some of the images I'm putting on there throughout this conversation, so you can see how good quality this lens produces. So anyways, those are the 3 budget vintage lenses I wanted to talk about. Again, love all 3 of them. I think they're great lens options if you're on a budget. For the 75-200 and the 50, I found those for about, on eBay, for about the lowest price I found was $20. To me, that's a steal. As long as they are taken care of, you'll get great image quality of both those lenses. And $20, $40, you get a 50mm plus a 75-200. That's a lot of focal range you're covering for only $40. Unless you're an autofocus person and you're like, I need autofocus, then don't buy these lenses, because you're not gonna like them. But if you don't really care about that and you want to get better at your manual focus skills and you just need lenses to produce content, $40 for 2 lenses, that's hard to beat. And the 28mm, I found that for about $30 on eBay. Again, it's going to vary, you know, person to person, how much you're selling it for, and obviously how good a condition you are. You want to make sure to get the best condition you possibly can. With that, you're probably going to pay a little bit more for these lenses if you're looking for a better conditioned lens, but overall, still, you're paying less than $100 for all these lenses if you're going by the cheapest. $70 for 3 lenses. That's a hard deal to break. So again, unless you're just an autofocus person, don't bother. I mean, go on to the next video, I suppose. I don't know what else to tell you on that one, but if you need it on a budget, I definitely recommend these lenses. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you found some use out of it. If you're not subscribed, again, like I always say, I would love to hit that subscribe button and join me on this journey. And I will see you guys the next time I make a video. Have a good one.